that, and that's the reason many people call that as a rat race. Because you're just running fast, not knowing where you're running it. And you get so comfortable in that rat race.
Hi, my name is Mauricio Garcia, and I am honored to have the opportunity to have a conversation and interview, listen to testimonials of somebody who has a very impressive background. One of the Fortune 500 companies actually recruited him right out of college in India. And he worked for this company, Honeywell, for 16 years, one of the youngest leaders in the company as a director. And I wonder, that will be my first question, after working for such a great company with all these benefits, maybe a pension and all, you decided to make a change, to switch and plant your flag here with HGI. Prashant Interiview. Thank you for the opportunity, and let's go to that question.
Sure, great question, Mauricio. The first thing is, when we go through the life, we have to focus on our priorities. Now, why did I switch from a company to another company? See, I didn't just change the company, I changed my profession. Because what I changed from is I changed from a 9-to-5 to a business. And why did I change? Because I was sick and tired of that 9-to-5, Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, Labor Day weekend. I was sick and tired of that. Why? Because that paycheck makes you think limited. And you get limited by so many things in your life. The money forces you to make all the decisions the way you make it. And the limitation on that money shrinks your decisions any further. So when do we really get an opportunity to think limitless? When you have a potential to earn limitless income. And I did not, unfortunately, see that in a 9-to-5 job. Now, I'm not putting the jobs down. I've had a great career. I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to do it in my life. But what I see in the business, and especially the one that I am in right now with a company like HGI, it's the financial world. There is limitless potential. And more than that, there is limitless potential for the income. So that's my simple answer for the shift.
No, interesting that you say that. You know, I was reading some data actually last night where I was looking at average annual income in America, somewhere around 67,000 or so. And I'm thinking, how many years would it take for somebody to earn $1 million? Policeman, like you're saying, just the average income in America. It will take 16 years.
Yeah.
And if they're savers, if they really save 10% of that, it will take, I don't know, close to 160 years just to save $1 million. And so I can see why people are struggling and they're having to do this side gigs and stuff like that.
True. And it's funny you mentioned that. There are many people, and I was fortunate enough to be in an industry where the salaries were above average, right? But here is an interesting math that we need to do. Let's say someone is earning $100,000 per year, okay? And there is a raise every year. What's an average raise that you have seen?
Oh, come on. What? Maybe less than inflation.
Right. Maybe average 3%, right?
Yeah.
So let's do a math. You have $100,000 worth of paycheck and you got a 3% raise. That means next year you're going to earn $3,000 extra. Now, how many weeks in a year? 52 weeks?
52 weeks.
Multiplied by 40? About 2,000 hours? So $3,000 you got raised, divide that by 2,000 hours you work, that's $1.50 worth of raise per hour. Now you take the tax out, Mauricio. You see that, and that's the reason many people call that as a rat race. Because you're just running fast, not knowing where you're running it. And you get so comfortable in that rat race, and then you forget about your dreams, you forget about what you want to achieve in your life.
But is it really comfortable, or you're just maybe people afraid to make a move? Because maybe, I guess what I'm trying to say, because you mentioned, listen, I was not happy where I was. I was tired of the 9-to-5, and I know 80% of the people who are employed right now feel that way. And that's not coming from me. That's the real data. People aren't happy, and they're living paycheck to paycheck, the vast majority of them. So there is this fast vehicle and this slow vehicle. I would argue that the slow vehicle is the traditional job. And you chose to leave that for what I assume you consider the fast vehicle, which is entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. You put it very well, Mauricio. So there's nothing about slow and fast. It's about where you're headed. Okay. Now I gave you the stats on the raises that we gave, right? A lot of times people get so comfortable into that 9 to 5 and we just assume that as a reality. Okay. And here's one thing that I heard from someone. They say you start tolerating that what you don't hate.
Tolerate.
If you don't hate the traffic, if you don't hate the drive, if you don't hate the politics, if you don't hate the salary that you get, you're going to eventually tolerate that. And then it becomes the life. Oh, do I have any options? And then say that's when you have to start looking for the options and you need to start exploring the opportunities. But that's where most of us fail. What I was told growing up, go to good school, get good grades, get a degree, get a nice job, and you'll be set. But nobody taught me in my life to go and look for an opportunity.
Right.
Then when you come across an opportunity, what happens is we become skeptical. We start questioning it. We start looking at every negative aspect of it. And it's not just saying, I'm not saying we are bad, that's how we are programmed. So that programming needs to be improved.
So you were ready to welcome an opportunity because you needed that change. And obviously, looking at your resume, what you were able to accomplish in the corporate world, you're a smart guy. And with that being said, you probably, when you saw the HCI opportunity, you started to question it. Maybe you started to analyze it to see if it was an opportunity that will enable you to go from where you are now or where you were to where you wanted to go. How did you conclude that it was?
Sure. See, change is always going to be tough. But we need to understand change is the only constant thing in our life. Now, when you're making a change, there is something called as you need to check the fruits on the tree. Okay? So what I did, I knew it was a different domain. I knew it was altogether a different entrepreneurship kind of a game. So what I looked at is, I looked at the kind of people who are doing this. I looked at the kind of success they're getting. So my good friend Aki, when he called me and he talked to me about the business, we collectively looked at what kind of results they are getting, the people who are already in the financial domain. The other thing we realized that money is in the money business. And the third thing is money is the common denominator for everybody.
Sure.
So if you get into something, if you want to start a business, might as well you start a business that has a lot of demand. So those were some of the things that we saw, and I personally told myself that, hey, I mean, I was not born as an engineer, I became one. Now, halfway in my life, in my career, if I need to learn a new skill, can I do that? And that's what we did. I said, well, this works, this is working for many, many people. Why can't I make it work for me? That's what I did in the corporate world. Yes, I joined as a trainee engineer, but slowly but surely, I came to a point where I was proud of myself that there was a tremendous growth in the corporate world, but there wasn't as much growth on the income. What I saw here, on the other hand, in companies like us, in HGI, there is a growth on your profile, but there is a tremendous growth on the income. And mind me saying this, see, income is not the ultimate thing, but see, money doesn't answer all the questions, but lack of money raises a lot of questions.
Sure.
So we have to make sure that we have our bases covered. And that's why making a change shouldn't be that difficult. Once you know what you want to achieve, and once you see someone has it, and if they're willing to help you, they're willing to take you by your hand and lead you into it, why not do it?
Now, there's, you mentioned the word skill, and there's a lot of people right now that they understand that in order for them to generate more income, they've got to learn this new skill, this high income skill that enables them to add more value, make more income. And you're exposed, just like everybody's exposed to these different opportunities. I personally have not found something that is as rewarding financially. Obviously, this business is more than financially rewarding because of what we do. But talking about this skill, would you speak to that building a business in this industry is that high income skill, higher of an income because of what we provide in value than I would say anything that is out there because it's the money business? Interesting.
See, skill is at one level, but then what kind of system you have is the other thing that you have to look at. If my income depends on me, so I have a very good friend of mine, he's a family friend, he's a surgeon, one of the top-notch surgeons.
Okay.
He has skills, but his skills are absolutely dependent on him. If he loses one of his digits, one of his fingers, can he perform the surgeries? how good that skill would stand for him. Versus in our business, in HGI, what we have is the system. It's a duplicatable system. What we're doing is I came into the business, I didn't have the skills needed, I started leveraging somebody else for me. Then I developed those skills. Now the same thing happened, then I'm building my agency, the people who are working with me, I'm lending my skills to them until they develop those skills. So today, if I lose my skills in this business, what's the worst that's gonna happen?
You just can't write, maybe you can't speak, you can't communicate, but then you have this army now, you have this organization now that you've been able to duplicate. They acquired the skills, and the system allows for you to be financially stable.
Absolutely. So that aspect of duplication, that aspects of independence on your own skills is what I see.
But isn't that what some of these other opportunities promise? The lotions, potions, the creams. I mean, there's many opportunities, and many of them are great. But how to differentiate the financial versus some of these other?
Yeah. And I'm not against any other businesses, any other opportunities. Many people are successful doing a lot of those other things.
Sure.
For me, what I saw here is, as a professional coming into an industry, this is a very white collar profession. This is a very professional kind of a work that we do. Mm-hmm. And what truly intrigued to me was, see, anybody can make money, but are we making difference? In finance industry, in finance world, what happens is you're helping people understand the basics of finances. It's like giving a man a fish and teaching a man how to fish. If we teach people the basics of finances, you just didn't make money with them, but you made a difference in that family's life, and they can use those basics for the rest of their lives. So their generations to come may be fixed with it. So the difference that you create, plus the money business, I mean, like I said, the money is in the money business. Any downtown you drive through, the tallest building belongs to the financial institutions, right?
Yeah. It took you many years to get your degree, to become an engineer, to work at a company like Honeywell. And we look at the income that you're generating in this company, which is way higher, way higher. I mean, if you want to share that, but it's way higher than maybe what you had as a salary or
Sure.
you're making. But yet, it didn't require so many years to get the skill. So it's interesting how not just you, but a lot of the ring earners are making hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. How is it possible to, in such a short period of time, be able to scale your income in a, what most people would say, highly regulated industry like the financial services industry?
Right. And that's where I would again go back to the aspect of system.
Why?
Okay. If it was person dependent, I don't think many people would have been able to do it. But this business is a system dependent business, right? So what happens is there is a set steps, there's a set way of doing the things that is already out there, which has been proven to be successful many years, for decades. So as long as you have a willingness to come in, accept that way of working and just duplicate that, that's what creates a difference in people's life like myself, that I could come from a corporate background but still understand and learn the principles of this kind of a business, and then it becomes the scaling factor, right? So in finance, it's the multiplication game. It's not an addition game anywhere. So coming in here, why I was so excited to switch my careers, because I could see that multiplication aspect here. I mean, I was able to double my income, what I was earning at my job, in a very short period of time. Why was it possible? Because here, I could leverage other people's experience, other people's way of working, other people's way of doing the business. And that's why this is a universal opportunity for people, for anyone who is ambitious.
Awesome. Now, obviously, this video, this interview is going to be watched by many people. Maybe right now, whoever's watching it is looking for an opportunity. And there's so many, obviously, options out there. Is there anything that you want to share with them specifically as to why they ought to choose a company with a system like HGI?
Sure. It's again, checking the fruits on the tree. If you want the kind of fruit, you go and check the kind of a tree that bears the kind of fruit that you want. Now, why I would suggest HGI? Because if you look at the history of the company, if you look at the history of the people who are building the company, I mean, there are decades worth of experience. And all these companies, those were built by the same executive team. Those companies are still in the business doing billions of dollars worth of volume.
Right.
To me, it's like the person who have, let's say, if a person built an Amazon, a Microsoft, and Apple, and the same person is building a fourth company, and if they offer you an opportunity, Mauricio, come in business with us, wouldn't you take it?
Absolutely.
Now, what are your chances of success in that case? The chances are very high.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason. I mean, there are many companies out there, but why we single out is because of the decades of experience that we have and those many success stories. You show me any company that has created so many multi-millionaires in the finance industry.
Okay. How was your business impacted due to the COVID?
It'll sound funny. My business was impacted very positively.
Mm.
We were able to rather scale our business further than the pre-pandemic times, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened, Mauricio? Because we are in a domain that doesn't require a physical location, that doesn't require a lot of inventory, that doesn't require a lot of paperwork exchanging hands, our business is very adaptive. What we used to do sitting in the offices, we could do with the help of a computer, with the online meeting softwares. And that has rather accelerated the process. So our business was very, very favorably, positively impacted. Rather, most of us doubled our cash flows during these months when we were going through the pandemic.
I can see that. You're saving time, you're saving paper, you're saving everything. Literally, this is literally now a business where you have an internet connection, a laptop, and a cell phone. You go anywhere and you can make it happen.
Yep.
That's just pretty amazing.
And that is not only for the pandemic times. I mean, that
Sure.
can work anytime,
Sure.
right? With the technology. See, you need to be in a business which is recession-proof. Okay, and this thing has truly proven that the kind of business we are in, it is purely recession-proof.
Prashant, thank you for sharing your testimonial. I'm excited to be also part of this family associated with a sharp guy like you. Can't wait to see what we're able to do. And for those of you that are watching this interview, this testimonial, is probably because someone talked to you about the opportunity, the HCI opportunity. If you have any questions, reach out to the person who shared this video with you, and they'll be able to answer those questions, and hopefully you'll join this company with us, the whole family, and you can go from where you are today to where you want to go financially. Thank you for watching.